My world-famous producer, Dylan, he's pushing the buttons, turning the knobs, and my world-famous co-host here, Michael Shoesmith, the executive editor of PNN News and Ministry Network, a syndicated blogger and an author. Michael, we were talking about the Senate Resolution 511. Let's move on from that, and let's talk about Obama and gun control and stupid people having won, and you'll explain that. But also, you'd said something to me off-air, and I can't remember if you said it on air or not as well, but you have a suggestion. People ask, well, what law? I ask this question all the time. What law could Obama have passed to make sure that these kinds of things either don't happen or happen very infrequently? And of course, the answer is there's no gun control law you can pass that would prevent these things, because criminals are always. But you take issue with me. You say there is a law that Obama could pass. All right, go ahead.
Well, I shall never forget it, Carl. My wife asks me periodically, do you remember this or that from years ago? And I say, look, sweetheart, every time I go to bed at night, a giant Zamboni goes through my mind and sweeps my brain clean. Yeah. I mean, if you don't know what a Zamboni, people in Florida may not know what a Zamboni is. Just go ahead and Google that. But that's what happens to me. My memory is getting worse and worse as the days progress here. But I shall never forget. We all have some of those I shall never forget moments, I was listening to WEBY's coverage of the 2012 election, and I was so sure, that Barack Obama, he was finished. Mm-hmm. I mean, he was destroying the country. People were finally starting to understand this, and I thought, okay, he's done. But no. When it looked like, I was sitting in Quebec somewhere I was in a restaurant or something listening to it on my phone, WEBY streaming coverage. But they had Mancow on. He's a well-known radio personality in the United States. But they had him on. They said, "What do you think?" Because now it's starting to look like Obama's going to win.
By the way, I've been on Mancow's show 3 different times. Yeah, he's out of Chicago.
Right. Yeah, he's a great guy. I love listening to him. But he said, "Listen, it looks like the stupid people have won, and so now we have 4 more years of a stupid president representing the stupid people of America." And I trust no one listening to this show, or very few, are the stupid people.
Yeah, thanks.
If you've been listening to this show for as long as I have, you cannot know any longer. Stupid is not a permanent condition, by the way.
That's right.
You can get over that. But here we have a stupid president representing a stupid sector of the population saying stupid things. And I'm referring to his recent gun grab attempt,
right?
And he's aiming his guns at mental illness, which Wolfgang Halbig, I interviewed him on my show, and he said, look, this whole gun grab thing, this has to do with mental illness. They're going to use mental illness to as a backdoor around the Second Amendment. And by the way, what part of shall not be infringed? People need to do some research on what the word infringed means.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to take guns away from anyone at any time in the United States, you are infringing on their right to carry, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many people realize that or not, but everybody in America, especially the liberals, they're all frogs in a pot. And the elitists, the government elitists, have been slowly turning up the water, and now you're just willing to give up all your rights completely.
Right.
But anyway, the law that I believe could have been passed, because in Texas, right, January 1st, we could hear the cheers from Texas because they were finally allowed to open carry in Texas. However, there are still pockets, and I just double-checked this during the break, Carl, by the way. There are still pockets of sitting duck syndrome, little mini Canadas down in Texas, and those are still schools in Texas are still gun-free zones.
Wow.
And the law that I propose, which could have prevented everything, whether fake or not, could have prevented these shootings in these schools, real or fake, we still haven't gotten to the bottom of all that yet, is a law which would allow, and it is a gun control law, by the way. It's a gun control law. Like Clint Eastwood said, if there's a gun in the room, I want to be in control of it, right?
Sure, absolutely.
Right.
We're running out of time, Mike. We're running out of time.
Right.
Go ahead.
And it's a very simple answer, a law that would allow people in the schools to protect their most valuable assets, the children.
Yeah.
And at least give them the same protections as they give the money riding around in these armored cars. These Brinks car drivers they could fight a small war from the back of their cabs. They have so many weapons inside these things to protect the money, and the politicians are surrounded by men with guns.
Sure.
Please, for God's sake, give the children the same protection benefits, and let the people the adults have control of weapons which could be used to protect these children.
Absolutely. Well
that's
said.
my take on it.
Well said. Well said. There's the gun law that could be passed that could prevent, practically eliminate a lot of this stuff. And if you think about it, think about the UCC in Washington. Think about the Newtown, Connecticut. Think about these places. Even in North Carolina, that church, all of these places where in states where you couldn't have a gun in a church or you couldn't have a gun on school, some of the strictest gun laws in the nation, that's where these things are happening, you see, because the criminals know and or the false flag people know. We don't want to put on a false flag thing and then get shot, so we better go someplace where nobody can carry. By the way, Mike, I know what a Zamboni machine is. It's an ice rink sweeper. It's an ice rink sweeper. I used to watch hockey.
Well done.
Yeah, we got to go.